5 prizes to give away tonight.
Oh.
Yeah, alright, isn't it? Be busy. It's going to be sudden busy. That's what it's going to be. That takes me frog skins to me. Hinges were coming under.
What do you want?
Definitely not putting the scoop on that. That would have been a disaster, Lily. Disaster. Let's not having it. No. It's supposed to be streaming. 50 quid.
It was about 42 last time I did it. Oh, fuck.
I don't think it's the internet. It was 48 last time. Now we have 2 streams rolling. So good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Donny Chaingang with me, Matt Payne, live here on the Donny Cycling YouTube channel. And it is Here Comes the Sun. And quite spot on timing. Not quite sure how we did it, but we have had some absolutely glorious sunshine. In fact, it's quite a relief to come back down into the studio today after being out on the mountain bike for about 3 hours and actually getting to the dark. And gotta say, I was very thankful of my shades today. And the answer is yes, they are Oakleys, and yes, they were radar EVs with a higher vision line because I was out on the mountain bike. Now, we've got some great giveaways coming up this week. We've got some great routes, and we are going to be heading out into New York very shortly for the first of the Donny Chaingang rides. We're also, of course, going to be bringing you the draw for the first of the giveaways. Now, Ian Taylor and 1080 are back in the store this week, and this week we've chosen to celebrate that with 1080 Oakley week here on the Donny Chaingang. Ian's been a long-term supporter of the Donny Chaingang right from the word go, and gotta say, he's an absolute star. He's looked after loads and loads of the members, and don't forget, support the people that support your sport. He's one of the good guys. He's an icon dealer. He gets previews, he gets the discounts. He gives you a massive discount as well if you're a member of the DCG Gang, Donny Chaingang Supporters Club. And to that end, we have a massive giveaway. We're going to be giving away one pair of Oakley Sutros as worn by Matthew van der Poel, and they are going to be either Sutro Originals, which have the new cutaways in the lenses, or Lights, or S, and 4 bundles of Oakley goodies as well, including caps and t-shirts. So let's, without further ado, head over and across to the wonderful, amazing random number generator that is rolling, as you can see, just over here. Now, all of our members of the DCG gang for the year, the All 2021, and members for April before 9 o'clock this morning on the day of the draw have been put into the draw. Now, it is one rider, one prize in true old school Chaingang club run styly tradition. I have the magic pen to cross people off the list, and yes, it is an orange pen before anybody has. And we will be pulling. First number out is going to get the Oakley Sutro. So let's get ready to stop the numbers, and it is going to be number 19, which means Caroline Mansfield. Caroline, you are number 1 in the draw. So Caroline Mansfield wins this, and this will go with those blue stripes that you were talking about earlier. So Caroline Mansfield, first winner, and a pair of Oakley Sutros going to Caroline. So well done to Caroline. So we've got 4 bundles to come out. So let's stop the random number generator, and it's going to stop. Oh, just one up. Charlie Babbitt, you're number 2. And Charlie Babbitt is going to get a bundle from Oakley. We'll start the generator again as it rolls its way through. Number 76 is going to be Martin Bolt. Martin, long-time Red Beacon and supporter of the Donny Chaingang. So Martin, Caroline, and Charlie so far all winners with 1080. 2 more to go. So let's start the random number generator again. We're going to randomly stop it somewhere. No idea where. It's going to be... oh, Martin Bolt again. There you go. Shows how random it is. Back into the draw it goes. One rider, one prize, remember. And these riders won't be eligible on Thursday's draw. So, number 70, Mark Barton. Mark, you are going to be getting a Oakley bundle from 1080. Fantastic Oakley bundle from 1080. Which leaves us with one more rider to hit the button for. Now, remember, this is, of course, increasing odds for the members because... everybody has got in on the way through, and 103 is Sandy Smith. So Sandy Smith, you are getting the last of the Oakley bundles. So Caroline Mansfield, set of Oakley Sutro shades coming your direction. You're going to be looking forward to getting those, I'm sure. There's some absolutely gorgeous ones out there, and they do look brilliant. And of course, we then have 4 bundles as well, all part of Oakley August. Now, and part of the Oakley giveaway is Here Come the Sun, and it has been incredibly sunny today. So let's head across and talk to the man who is going to be running tonight's ride direct from the green and black Pinarello. It is the one and only Russ Downing.
Hey up, mate.
Now then, how are you?
I'm not bad, mate. Yeah, not seems like a lifetime ago since we spoke. Like Friday or something was it? We had a weekend off from each other.
I know. I'd like to say I've missed you, but I haven't really.
I'd like to say the same, mate, but yeah, you know how it is.
Peace and quiet for a little bit without us talking to each other. I know. I don't know about you, but it felt quite weird not having to talk about the Donny Chaingang all weekend long. But it has been busy. I've seen you've been out riding, and looks like you've managed to drag Ben Swift along tonight.
Yeah, just having a quick chat to him the other day. He's in between races, so yeah, he's just. I think he's only going to be with us for half an hour or so. So he's got some specific workout, and he's just coming on the back of that. So yeah, it's good for him to support it.
Excellent stuff.
Yeah.
Excellent. And we've just drawn the Oakley draw with 1080. And some really great winners. Great to see a real mix of people there, with Caroline Mansfield getting the Oakley Sutros that are going to match that pretty gritty kit actually really well.
Yeah, saw the comments on Facebook. People, she wanted to win them, and then she's won them. So yeah, just careful what you wish for, gang.
Yeah, definitely. And that's 5 people getting Oakley goodies courtesy of 1080. And Ian's been a supporter of the Chaingang from the word go, hasn't he?
Yeah, not only just with the products, the gifts, that he's actually he's bossing the gang. He's one of those. First off, he couldn't get to grips with it. He was getting dropped. He was getting dropouts. He was doing all this, but now he's got the hang of it. He's flying, and yeah, he's keeping up the support with the gang. So yeah, it's all good.
Definitely, and been a member all the way through the year as well. So going to be great to see Ian. I think he's trying to get back in, but of course they've opened the shop like many stores this week, and we've seen the removal or the scaling down of lockdown. But we're going to be here all the way through the year, and that is what we're looking about.
Yeah, we're going to do these Tuesday Thursdays. Might squeeze a women's one back in there. We'll see what's happening, but it's been great. The women have really got behind that, and we're gonna the numbers are dropping a little bit, but we're still providing for the members. The giveaways are still coming in. All the discount codes. So sign up, fill your baskets, as Mr. Herring says, and keep supporting those who keep the show on the road.
Indeed, and we'll be bringing more news about the madman that is Craig Herring on Thursday's show. In the meantime, Russ, with 2.5 minutes to go, better let you get warmed up, mate.
Yeah, cheers, mate. So I'm just laughing at Swift. He's sending me some picture messages, and he is well and truly warmed up. I'll leave it at that.
I don't need to hear any more. Cheers, Russ. So great to catch up with Russ, and let's head straight into the map of tonight's course. Here comes the sun. The sun is out. The sun is shining. We are in New York, and we are going to the King of the Mountains, the KOM after party. And this is a real beast of a course, because we are heading for a full lap of this. Now, this is effectively 3 laps of Gotham Grind, which is a route lots of people will have done. But then tagged onto the end of that is the climb up to the King of the Mountains, up the Sky Bridge, up over those glass bridges, and a total elevation of 440 metres means it will see riders being shed. This is a very undulating, bumpy route, and it is a tricky route to keep together. So it's going to be about holding together, about not distancing riders, about staying nice and close, and then as we get to the go, it's going to get quicker and quicker. Then once that go is gone, it's about deciding where you go. Do you go hard early? Do you try and break it on the bumps and rises around Central Park? Or do you wait until that big climb? However it plays out, I know our red beacon is going to be busy. Joe Jarvis is with us. Joe, a regular on the women's and on the Tuesdays and Thursdays Chaingangs all the way through the winter. And great to see Joe stepping up into that red beacon duties. And we've got lots of our riders all ready to go. So please, guys, make sure that you get yourselves signed in nice and early. And don't forget, of course, if you want the links going direct to your inbox, make sure you get yourselves on to the DCG gang. Now, the map shows part of the story, the Velo Viewer. graphic shows you the whole story here, because as you can see, it really is a truly tough part of the world out on the side here. So you can just see that the course goes round and round the park. It is bumpy, it is undulating, but what it is most of all is it's brutal at the end, and that final hill has a nasty kicker on it as well, which is going to really test our riders out. Now our riders just starting to roll out from the start and head away into the park, and looks like we've got Bry Smithy with us. Bry, of course, putting his prize back in to the mix when we were pulling the draw for the Halo wheels, and he maybe wishes he had some nice lightweight Halo wheels on today, because it's going to be a very interesting climb indeed towards the end. But good to see Brian back in with us. In fact, let's jump across from the fantastic fellow viewer graphic to Brian on the Here Comes the Sun week. As you can see on the screen, already out from the park, and that group just starting to reform and get themselves back together again. The group at the moment just out and into the park central, and looks like it is going to be a pretty quick regroup there. So let's head in here live on the Donny Cycling YouTube channel, in with our riders out in Central Park here on the Donny Chaingang, live on the Donny Cycling YouTube channel. So people steadily are working out that Russ is in a Donny Cycling strip jersey. This is the Donny Cycling team jersey for coach riders on the Donny Cycling coached squad. And let's see if we can get a good look at the kit for you here. As you can see, Russ in the grey and black, matching Pinarello with this as well. And this matches the in real life, the IRL kit. And as you can see, the coaching works down in cycling logo on the back. The pocket's already well and truly stuffed with ride-ons as well. And this kit looking very good in the game as well as in real life. And I think Russ even has the socks to match today. So looking good on his way through. Russ in the middle of the group at the minute. And whilst Russ just shows off the kit on his way through and trying not to ride over the top of riders, let's make sure that we are going to be giving you all of the details. So don't forget, we're in Gotham at Grind. It's 3 laps of the circuit initially. It's a figure of 8 circuit around the park, followed up by what is going to be an incredible climb up to the top. Now, last time we were here, we saw people really struggling with the climb. It was really tough stuff on the way up that climb. So let's see how the riders manage it today out on the route, because of course it is going to be a warm one for lots of people. If you're lucky enough to have a lot of fans in your garage, then it might well cool you down a little bit. Let's have a little bit of a check through here, because I think our yellow and red beacon just a little bit split up already, which we would expect on the ride, but looks like that gap has already grown and stretched out with a real mix of riders out there at the moment. So let's jump in with Joe Jarvis. And looks like the beacon already are starting to gather people on the way through, as Mr. Senior, I think, is late joiner. Mr. Senior, he's going to be making his way up towards these riders at the moment. So Joe Jarvis at the moment in the blue and purple. Our red beacon in here nicely. Looks like Andy Halls is in the group here already. Andy in the red and black and grey with the Pinarello, and some nice deep rims on there as well. And for company as well, it is Tickers on here. Now, Tickers, we were speculating, might have been one of our older riders on the Chaingang. And in fact, Russ has put up a bag of beans, yellow beacon blend coffee, that our members normally get a discount on. Now, Tickers was in the running for getting hold of that, but we have it on good authority that the oldest rider that regularly rides on the Chaingang, that's on the Chaingang, is a certain Barry Kipling. Barry Kipling, legend that is Barry Kipling, is 65 and soon to turn 66. So if you are older than that, you've got till the end of this week to tell us. Otherwise, it's going to be Barry Kipling who's going to be getting those beans from Russ, and we'll be getting that yellow Beacon blend of beans. Now, looks like Senior, after that quick join, going to go smashing his way through here, trying to catch up with the group. Just in front, it looks like Sonia Inslee, just up the road, and just taking a little bit of a look nicely into the main group here. So Inslee already in with the group, the yellow Beacon, surrounded by lots of our regular riders in here. Daryl Tashawala, winner of our £300 with Halo Wheels, is in this group, and he could say thank you literally side by side with Bryce Smithy today, because Brian Smith, who put the prize that he won back in the pot. Now, let's jump in with a very, very important man today, and in fact, a very important man for the Chain Gang since its inception. It is Ian Taylor of 1080, a member of the DCG gang, the Donny Chain Gang Supporters Club. He's also, of course, the main man at 1080. He's been in the Oakley game for 40 years. Yeah, 40 years. He is the man who is the font of all knowledge when it comes to kit. And got to say a massive thank you for the advice, Ian. The Radar EVs today out on the trails were superb. As I was out with Indy the Trail Dog, we were belting around. In fact, I think we set some fastest times out and around the trails today. And with the new trails being put into Sherwood Pines, it was a little entertaining. I had to keep my head up and keep an eye on where the trail was, and the dog doing ballistic speed at the side of me, and the EV, the elevated top line on the glasses, doing the business. So a massive thank you to Ian, and of course a massive thank you to Ian for the prizes. Caroline Mansfield, our first winner of a pair of Sutros this week, but don't forget, of course, we had an Oakley giveaway because Ian's supporting the Women's Wednesdays, the final Women's Wednesdays last week as well. I know all three prize winners: Wendy Wilmot with those Oakley glasses, as well as our two runners-up prizes, Iona Shull and Charlotte Colclough, all sorted out by Ian already. And fast delivery is the name of the game in the Oakley game, as well as the big discount. So fantastic to see, and that Ian has already got the winners sorted out for last week, and really looking forward to seeing what our riders choose on the giveaways this week when it comes to those glasses, because of course you got the choice of the Oakley Sutros, the S's, and the lights without the frame underneath the lens. Now 4K in already, and it's looking a little bit strung out here. One or two people seem to be thinking that they're going for a bit of a long one here, and not quite aware that there are plenty of riders behind them. So going to jump back from the front, well, the middle of the group, let's say, to our riders behind. So just taking a look through, looks like George Cooper made it back in with us as well. Martin Bolt is in the group here. A winner today. Phil Jones is back with us, and Phil, of course, featured in the magazine. And of course, we have, let's dive on him before he disappears, because he's got a workout to do. The one and only rider that is Ben Swift. So Ben in here wearing the Pros jersey here at the moment, the Ineos jersey, the orange jersey with the white stripe through the middle. And Ben looking already very, very smooth here. 95 revs a minute, 140 beats per minute, 250 watts coming out from Ben. And Swifty doing the business here. Nice colour scheme, of course, on the Pinarello, the Dogmo that is ridden by the Grenadiers, the Ineos Grenadiers team. Looking super smooth underneath Ben as he makes his way along the side of the bunch. And Ben, of course, a regular on the Chain Gang, and again a member of the DCG gang. So if you want to join the same gang as Ben Swift, and be in the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, make sure you go on to the Facebook page or click the links on the website that take you in. You can join for 1 calendar month. You get all of the discounts, all of the links direct to your inbox. You get entry into the giveaways. And remember, of course, on Thursday we will be having another giveaway with another set of Oakley Sutros and 4 more bundles as well. Now, Craig Herring just on the screen, and going to be diving in a minute. We've got lots coming up about Craig and his efforts to raise money. The man is a complete lunatic, and I can say that hand on heart because I know what he's about to do. He's about to ride 24 hours on Zwift, and Craig doing an absolutely superb job. You can see on his tag Mind 24, it's a 24-hour Zwift ride in aid of Mind. I'm going to say a massive thank you to OTE who are supporting him on the way through. Now, just going to whiz our way down through the group. Now, Craig Herring is going to need your support, so make sure you give him a follow on Zwift, and if in doubt, jump on the ride and go have a spin with him. So, in fact, I'm going to try and jump in with him. Here we go. Let's see if we can find the avatar that is Craig. So, Craig in the grey and black kit giving us a wave there on the Specialized. He's gone for a nice lightweight option of bike there and wheel combination for tonight's climb up the KOM. Now, remember, Craig Herring, Mind 24, give him a follow. If you are riding at all at the same point he's on for 24 hours, jump on, say hello, give him a message, make sure that you go, give him some support because he's doing all this for Mind for Mental Health Charity, and he joins an illustrious list of people on the Donny Chaingang who have been raising money for charity by sitting on the bike on the turbo, and we're going to give him lots of support. I'm hoping to jump on at some point over the course of the weekend. I'm not sure I'm going to do the overnight shift, but there are a lot of people who are, and hopefully going to get on at a point when he's needs a little bit of cheering up and tell you some dodgy stories that we can't tell you over the broadcast, and hopefully have a catch up. Now we're going to dive out from Craig, just going to work our way down. Sean Ferrin in here, Sonia Ainsley's in this group, looks like Bryce Smithy still riding comfortably in here. This group all just sitting in the right place. Kirkham in here, looks like Stone is in, TV's in here as well. Good to see you in here, mate. Ben Swift riding nice and smooth in here, just working our way back. Looks like we've got Ruth Taylor in the group. I'm sure I saw Ruth joining the ride earlier on. Ruth Taylor back with us once again. Good to see Ruth in action. Looks like Mr. Flynn has made it, one of our new members on the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club. I will get you in a minute, mate, I promise. We do try and dive on. Now it's Saturday noon till Sunday noon that Craig is on, and we'll hopefully lots of our members are going to be in there now. Just in with Mr. Flynn here, riding in the blue. It's a little bit packed in the bunch at the moment, but Flynn looking super smooth at the minute. And just again another lightweight set of wheels in here, but Flynn looking super smooth, and looks like the group just about hanging on to the coattails of Russ on the way through here. This group is a little bit fractured at this stage in the game. So let's take a little bit of a jump back as our riders continue on. We're going to try and jump in with our beacon in a minute. The red beacon just on a slightly different section, of course, and that means it's going to be a little tricky jumping across to them. So jumping in with the red beacon group, here we go. Told you it would take a little while to get there. It certainly did. So here we go. This is the riders in that Red Beacons grouping. Led the bus driver of the Red Party bus is Joe Jarvis in here. Looks like Big Tez is in as well. So Tez on the front in the pink and blue. Joe Jarvis in the dark blue on the pink and black bike. And then we have Andy Hawes in the grey and black. So Horsey is sitting third man in the string. There we go for the Assos London squad. And then it is Mark Tickhill, Tickers himself, on the back of the group. Andy, give us a wave as well. Thank you, Andy. And then Mark Tickhill at the back can Tickers, another of our regular riders on the Donny Chaingang and another member of the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club. And great to see him in action as well as they come up round this turn. This is at the far end of the park and it is almost directly underneath the big sky bridge. In fact, our helicopter has to be very careful not to bump in to the glass bridge on the way through. There we go, going over the top, and we'll be heading up over the top of that at the end of the ride in the final kick up to the climb. Our riders on the way round now, heading in the opposite direction towards that sprint line. And looking pretty smooth at the moment. Now we're going to try and jump up the road. This is easier said than done, and I think it is going to be Ross who is in front at the moment. So at the moment Ross is just in front of that group. It's about 49 seconds. We're going to drop across to the Yellow Beacon group, who are currently making the way underneath the lap banner. So coming back underneath the lap banner. And this is a route that is guaranteed to confuse our riders, that is for sure. So here we go, let's have a little look. Ben Swift just dropping onto the back of that group as we go past those start pens. You can just see them in the distance on the left hand side of the screen. So that was where we started not all that long ago. Russ at the moment rolling the disc, an interesting choice that make it easy on the way into the climb, but not the easiest set of wheels to go up the climb. And if you want to change the wheels on the way through, then that is a tricky thing to do. That is for sure. You've actually got to stop the bike in the game. I'm sure Russ isn't going to be doing that. Let's jump in with another of our regular riders, in with AD Dench. When we talk about mad people doing mad things on Zwift, this man's name instantly springs to mind, along with Craig Herrings, and that is because AD, of course, riding the Land's End to John O'Groats, replicating his real life ride on Zwift, and again racing well over £6,500 for charity for mine, and great to see him in action already. Now just keeping an eye on the riders. Looks like we've got Jess Evans in here. Jess clearly tempted by the uphill section, and Jess riding in a very entertaining orange jersey. Any particular reason for the orange jersey, Jess, or did you just forget to change it on the way through? So Jess, the Assos ambassador at the moment, rocking the orange. So she makes her way along, and you see that red and black bike, normally the one that works with the gang. So here we go. Craig Herring just saying much love to Eddie, the Velaskin expert. He is indeed. If you want tips of what not to do, or do as I say and not as I do, make sure you talk to Eddie. He's always happy to share tips and guidelines of what to do and what not to do, particularly with the Velaskin kit. Now just in with Kushak at the moment, and looks like it is Vicia in the black kit, nicely in this bunch as well. Lots of our riders sitting in the middle of the pack here, not going too far up the road at the moment, and certainly looking pretty smooth. I'm just going to take a little look at the riders, certainly looking like they are riding around with Russ and keeping it all together. So it looks like connections issues for one rider. That's Dan Coleman. Dan, if you're listening in, you're about 14 seconds from Russ at the moment. I know Dan regularly a listener, and one of our normal super good guys that glued to the riders at the moment, getting connection issues and not actually seeing anybody. So looks like just getting the odd drop out, or should I say he's getting the odd drop in. So currently at about 5 to 6 seconds, mate, and if you can't see them, you're about to get caught. So Dan, a kick about now. get you back into that group. All part of the surface. Right, let's have a little check through the riders in here. Looks like Mr. Knowles back with us. Dr. D's in. Dubash in the group here. Nice big pack. Mr. Senior made it in here as well. Lovett's in here. Flynn in here. Martin Bolt is in. Martin, of course, a winner on the prize draw. Oakley bundle going out to Martin, courtesy of Ian Taylor at 1080. And at the moment, the pack is certainly holding together pretty well. So let's take a jump in. Let's see if we can catch hold of the main man. Russ in the middle of the group at the moment. Let's see if how's his breathing doing. He's at 98, 93 beats a minute. He should be able to talk. Are you there, Russ?
Yes, very much so.
Very much so. It's looking quite. What was Vin Donohue's word? Blobtastic.
Yeah, it's calmed down a bit. It always takes about 15-20 minutes for the older keen beans to settle down, and then I just shut up tight and ride my bike, so it's always good.
It's certainly looking good. We've seen a few people have noticed the rather nice Downing cycling kit that matches the in real life kit that the coached riders have access to.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, and it got designed over 18 months ago, and I think it got sent to Zwift about the same date, so it's taken a while, but I just logged in early and it was there, and I was like, all right, yeah, I'll put that on then.
And the coach riders, I mean, we talk about the work that Downing Cycling as a company does, and of course Dean, yourself and a plethora of coaches now are all together working as Downing Cycling, and quite a number of riders on the books, and a real mix as well. Everybody from national champions and really fast riders right the way through to just you and me, just average riders.
Yeah, it's like, whatever your goal, whatever your ambitions, we can make it faster. Dino's flat out right in the programmes there. We've now got Tom Stewart on board, Tom Townsend. We've got a new one coming on board soon, and I just sit under all those and do a lot of the mentoring. When people want advice on racing and different aspects of general cycling. So it's all working well.
It is, and great to see the in real life kit being matched by the kit for the coach riders on the screen. And having seen you out in this kit, it looks identical. It's really, really good representation, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not bad. Sometimes they just don't translate, and it does look exactly the same. It's kind of weird when I designed it. I put the designs in from a scribble on a piece of paper. The designers threw something back absolutely totally different. I was like, where did you find that from? So we finally got there, and I stood my ground, and it never moved far from a little sketch. And yeah, it looks nice now, so it's good to see it in the game.
Definitely good to see it in the game, and looking forward to seeing some of the coach riders picking it up and putting it on when they're in there. Now, we know we're going to get asked the question, can we all have one? And the answer is a resounding no, which is quite simple for a really simple reason, is that we would never recognise anybody, would we, when we were mid-ride? And for me, it's important commentating, but just as important, it's for you and for the riders. People know who is coming back towards them, the riders of a similar ability, and if everybody was in the same kit like we see on many rides, then people wouldn't be able to identify people that they ride with, and you wouldn't get that same feel, would you?
Commentator's nightmare, and then obviously from a leader's point of view, you'd just be like, it would be a blobtastic, literally just a blob going down the road. So we're going to speak to Swift and see if we're allowed to do it, but it's going to be coach riders, and you can sort of drop in and out of it, and they use it in other events, which is all good. And we've got plans for it, haven't we, Matt?
We have indeed, and so long as we don't end up confusing Russ and me, we would love to see it out there, and great to see it in action here. So don't forget, of course, to make sure if you need coaching. Coaching does indeed work. It says it on the back of the jersey, and the proof is in the pudding with all these riders going faster and faster. So great to catch up, Russ. It's looking a little bit smooth at the moment. You're right on the front, mate.
Yeah, talking away, I got carried away. since we've been on, my heart rate's it's only gone up a couple of beats, so I haven't pushed on that much, but you know.
Well, it's shedding riders at the back of the group a little bit at the minute, so it can't be going that slowly.
People might be on YouTube listening to my wise words, you know, and just frustrating and. But no, yeah, I'm straight at the back. Look, you see, that's the DCG for you. You freewheel, ease up, you spat. It's just like going down the side of the River Trent.
Yeah, for me that's like about 10 miles an hour slower than you, so that's how it goes. Right, mate, I'll let you get back to it. Let's continue our coverage here on the Downey Cycling YouTube channel.
Cheers, mate.
So great to talk to Russ there on the kit that Russ is wearing, that Downing Cycling kit in the game, and great to see it in here. And as we said, we do try and avoid everybody riding the same kit. And there was a really interesting point made by one of the guys at the back of the group, one of the riders who's regularly fighting to stay with the group, particularly into that go. And they are always looking for those riders that are at their level, that are normally around them, and what they find is that they really do struggle to catch the riders, to get a view of the riders if they're not careful, if everyone's in the same kit, and that's exactly what we're trying to avoid. So if you know that, for example, Joe, our Red Beacon, is usually in that dark purple and pink kit, and you normally would ride with Joe at Joe's pace or similar, and you could help each other along, then you'd be going for Joe's kit. If you knew that Tickers was always in the blue and green, you'd be looking for that blue and green. That for us is what it's all about. It's about helping each other. Mr. Ross here, again, very distinctive. It's one of the key things in the game. You can personalise the game to you, to how you want it to ride, and that is really, really important. And for example, we always know that Sonia going to be green socks, white helmet, black kit. And I think Sonia at the moment about 3 minutes in front of our Beacon, just being dropped off the back of the group. And look at this. This looks to me like this is going to be the next group that's forming behind our yellow jersey group, our yellow Beacon group, because it looks like this is going to be Flynn in here. So Flynn in the blue and black, Martin Bolt in the Zeb Peugeot style kit, and it's going to be Nunn, I think, in the grey, black and the grey, orange and white kit here. So these three riders now, they've got the Brixton Cycles rider. This is going to be Vicia just in front. So Vicia at the moment 5 seconds in front of the chasing group behind. You can just see the three riders behind chasing to try and close down the gap. And if they get together, it will give a little bit more of a chance. It looks like Little at the moment just out the back of the group, and it looks like he's just trying to push into the back of the group. And you're seeing one or two people just losing attention on this rolling course. It is a very dangerous thing to do, because if you miss out on the wheels, you get caught out, you will drift off the back, and you are in trouble. Now looks like Mr. Herring at the moment just patrolling the back, doing some work to pull people in. Looks like Mr. Richardson in there as well. So Richardson in the black with the black cap on there. Gurnhill in the black on the orange bike. No hat at the moment. Then just in front of Craig Herring is going to be a Waller. Then Nick Rudkin on the way through. Looks like Galton in here. Dr. D's in here as well. Lovett's in the group. Hayward, of course, one of our regular members of the DCG gang in here. Jimmy Allen's around, but Paul Coleman in here as well. Paul, one of our slightly older riders as well. And you just see the speed just steadily picking up at the moment. Now in with Kieran Smith, a man who swept all before him when we were on Halo a week, continued that tradition. So we went a little bit further afield. He was looking very, very strong, and with his prolific first man over the line in the Chaingang, he has become the rider to beat when it comes to fast finishes. We'll see if he's going to do that today. Just going to work our way through. Looks like Sarah Lomas is with us. So Slowmas by name, but definitely not by nature. Currently rocking the orange and black kit, and gone for a very lightweight setup again on the bike now. Sarah, one of the fast riders, and going to be very interesting to watch her progress as the season that comes in to mountain bike and cross season. We start working in real life. We've known Sarah a long time, and a very quick rider indeed, and attentive here on the wheels as well. Not sat on the wrong side of gaps here, just sitting around that yellow beacon regularly. Our first female rider home, but she's going to be challenged today because Taylor is in the group. Jess Evans is in the group as well. Jess, of course, a former national hill climb champion, and it could be that a short, sharp single effort up to the finish with just rolling hills in between may well suit a hill climber rather than a fast all-round rider like Lomas, but we will see. Lomas, of course, living in the Peak District, no stranger to the hills, that is for sure. Now, as you can hear, there's the shouts coming out. We've got 3 or 4 riders just being distanced, and every time we go over the crest, this is what happens, and this is why you've got to pay really keen attention to the groups, because what will happen is as you go up on to the hill side, the group compresses, concertina is squeezed in, and the riders will come closer together. As we go over the crest of the hill, the front will accelerate up, and they could be accelerating up several seconds in front of the riders towards the back, and when that happens, that is when the gaps will open. So as we go over the top here, you're going to find that the gradient eases, the course drops down in front of the riders, and it will start to stretch out again, and instead of being one big blob, it will be a long string of riders, and that is when the gaps go. That is when you've really got to pay attention. 1 or 2 people getting caught out by it, and you can see at the back here the gaps just open. If you don't close them down immediately, you're left having to do a lot of work to get those gaps back down again. And that is the nature of this course. The Gotham Grind is a really good group to practice on, a group ride practice, because if you are racing on here, you've got to have it absolutely nailed. You cannot drift away from where you want to be, because you will find the gaps open and you're left having to work. And you can see again, breaks, gaps opening in the group, and this is what it's about. It's about getting that practice in. One of the reasons that we are getting the riders going quicker and quicker is they're practicing their rides, practicing the race tactics that they're going to use when they're out on the racing on Zwift and in real life as well. We've seen a lot of people saying that it is improving their riding all the way around. Obviously it's not going to improve your balance, but it'll improve pretty much everything else as well as that, and it is about making sure that you push into the groups, that you make sure that you sit in with the riders and continue to use that strength. Now, quick reminder for 5 of our riders, you have been pulled out from that random draw of the DCG gang members, and Caroline Mansfield, our winner of the Oakley Sutros, Charlie Babbitt, Mark Barton, Martin Bolt and Sandy Smith, all winners of Oakley bundles, and your details will enable us. We'll be getting in touch with you through the ticketing email system, and then getting your details into Ian Taylor at 1080. And of course, 1080 are key sponsors of this week. Now here we go. Looks like Waller pushing back in to the group here. Handley sat on the back in the green here. Handley just squeezing on the pedals there, just keeping that chain tight. Looks like Daryl Tatchell. Waller just a little bit further back here, and Daryl's going to need to push in. Got a lightweight setup, the second lightest setup in the kit, and just a message from Neil. So apparently Caroline's relayed the message that she's a very happy bunny. That's always good to see. We like to keep our DCG gang members happy. We would like to say thank you for supporting the Donny Chaingang. Don't forget, of course, whilst our members all benefit from getting the links direct by getting all the discounts, the discount codes, the giveaways, the Donny Chaingang, every single member benefits from them being members of the gang. Everybody who rides the Chaingang, it's made possible by the members of the DCG gang, because they quite literally keep the show on the road. They allow Russ and I to devote as much time as we do to keeping the show on the road. And Russ and I have joked on the start of the show that this is the longest we've been without talking for some while, and it is indeed true. Normally it's about 4 or 5 phone calls a day, every single day of the week, 7 days a week, We had a weekend off quite simply because we were pretty much sick to death of talking to each other. We decided it was probably a really good idea not to say too much over the weekend and actually get out and ride the bike some. So Daryl Tashall-Wallow, a member of the DCG gang, on his way through, and I'm sure Daryl has been taking advantage of the discounts of the coffee. Grand Tour coffee, of course, currently on a yellow beacon blend personally. So cheers. If you doubt that, it's a good job you can't see the feed on the camera. And unfortunately, that was the last of the coffee in the coffee cup. But there you go. Right, back to the ride. Enough of me drinking coffee, and let's have a little look at a few riders off the back here, just stretching their legs at the back. And looks like Craig Herring is looking to get as fit and as fast as he can by going back and pacing people back on again. So Herring just dropping off the back, giving people a little bit of a tow back in again. And remember, Craig Herring, this man in the grey and white, he's the man who's going to be riding for 24 hours on Zwift. Now, it's a good job our camera resolution isn't good enough, because if we could go parallel to his ears and zoom in far enough, you see there's not a lot between them. And that's quite simply because he's mad enough to ride for 24 hours on Zwift. I think you're nuts, mate. I'm very, very much in awe of the fact you're going to do it, but I think you're absolutely mental. That has to be said, and that's exactly why he's doing it, for a mental health charity. You are an absolute star, sir, and we're looking forward to seeing how much money he raises, and of course seeing lots of our members of the gang giving him a hand out there on the roads of Zwift. Now let's have a little bit of a check of some more of our riders. Looks like Jess Evans in here, 148 beats per minute at the moment from Jess. Looks like Phil Jones not all that far away. Phil, of course, regular brother rider of the Chaingang, and just going to try and get a quick look at Phil if we can in the black there. The riders all ride over his avatar. It's not very polite of him, is it, Phil? So Phil Jones in here, and good to see Phil back in action on the Chaingang once again. This group riding nice and smoothly at the moment, and I don't think anybody's in a rush to pick the pace up too much at the minute. We're still seeing one or two riders being dropped off the back, and I think Russ will probably be quite glad for having to not shout at people too much at the moment, although one or two gaps starting to open, but that's what we expect as we go up and over these slight climbs and drops. And looks like Thorpe, one of our regulars, right up at the front of the Chaingang, just sitting around the wheels of Russ here as the gaps open up. It's certainly looking like this group of Russes is just being distanced a little bit here. So the lead bunch just stretching the gaps out at the moment, and the group at the back are just going to have to push on a little bit to get in touch on the way through. So Goddard just grabbing the string, just pushing on. Thought doing the same. Russ sitting on the wheels there, and just going to take a little bit of a look up behind, because I think it is in danger of stretching one or two riders off the back here. Cooper just sat on the back of the group. So Cooper needs to just push on here. That gap has opened up. Remember, it's a 6 metre. To get the optimum draft, you've got to be inside of 6 meters of the riders in front, and Cooper at the moment is going to need to push. He's currently kicking out 2.9 watts per kilo. That's not enough to close the gap down. He's keeping it pretty steady. He's going to need to lift that a little bit. There's 1 to 2 seconds these gaps can go, particularly if the back group with Downing, King, Graham, Thorpe, Kirkham and co push on to the back of the bunch. They're going to open that gap up on Cooper. Cooper now at 3.7, 3.8, 3.9. He's got to keep on pushing. That gap isn't coming down, and this is the power of the bunch. This is what happens in real life. If you let that gap go down the side of the Trent, well, you're going to see Russ and Swifty riding off into the distance, and you can see at the moment it is absolutely fractured in front of Russ here. So this is the yellow beacon group. There are 2 distinct gaps up in front, and it looks like Russ is about to go up, and somebody has definitely poked the bear at the moment. Mason in that group in there, but this is a little bit harsh here, because the gaps have opened up, and looks like Russ is going to go hammering across and go oi. So has this cost one or two riders behind as Russ pushes onto the group? He's pulled them back into the group, but there are riders all over the place behind him at the moment. Now, just keep it an eye as they come around 24.8k. Remember, the last 2k of this ride uphill. The rest of it is just constant rolling terrain in and around the park here in New York. As you can see, round the corner quickly onto an 8%. And the gang just reforming now around Russ. So Russ just telling everyone to just hold tight, not go too hard on the front. Need to grab some of the riders at the back on again. And you can see how fast these riders have been motoring through. So we're going to drop our way back down the group towards the back of the pack here. And we're going to try and take a little bit of a view back, because I think we have been in danger of shelling people here. So it looks at the moment like Sutcliffe, Waller, Hayward, Dubash just on the back of the string here. So it looks like Craig Herring is putting a line out for riders at the moment, just throwing them a line to try and get back in touch. Looks like he's hooked one or two to reel them back in at the moment. So just seeing this group just getting back in here. Looks like Ian Taylor's staying out of trouble. The Craig Harry knows well the rear needs to push in to the yellow. That's the way it works. You need to push into the yellow if you're on the back of the group. If you're strong enough to get back in again, take somebody up with you. Brett Dowtree, he can push his way in, but it looks like he's just got a little bit napping at the moment, having to push out 5.6 watts per kilo. So Brett pushing in to the back of Galton, and this is what makes it so quick. Each of the riders working to get into a position, and it looks like Cooper has indeed paid the price of the gap opening up. So Cooper at the moment chasing the yellow Beacon group, 8 seconds behind him. The chase is on, but going to have to work hard at the moment to get that back. Then it's going to be Gurnhill and Ross, 13 seconds separating these two riders. Then it's going to be Flynn, Bolt. It looks like Vicia in here, Kushak in here. Sonia Inslee's not far off them. She's got the power up in there, and looks like Sonia's just trying to close in on this group of 3 riders. 29 seconds back. Then it's going to be Richardson. So who is actually going to, sorry, it's going to be Richardson, 32 seconds, 28 seconds and closing at the moment, and putting out some serious power. Meanwhile, the yellow Beacon is quickly whipping around the back of the circuit as well. So this group at the moment are going well. And going to be 4 riders together. Our red Beacon bus is being driven by Joe Jarvis, and looks like Joe making a way back in to the group now. Just going to drop in with Phil Jones, who we know is up with the very front group at the moment. So in with Road Phil from Brother UK. And as we can see, he is just coming in here to the back of the pack, where Russ is just taking the bunch round to the right. We then go to the left. This figure of 8 course, it's constantly undulating, very, very tricky to keep an eye on exactly where you are. 27.5k in for the bunch at the front group. You can see plenty of power-ups coming on, because it is well and truly strung out here behind Russ. The group at the front blobbing up well, but if you're not in the slipstream, if you're not in the draft, you are going to have to work much, much harder. You can see behind Phil and Russ, there are riders in 1s and 2s just starting to be distanced down the road here. So just going to jump in with Andrew Everton with Ted at the moment, and Ted looks like one of these riders in the back. So the gang pushing on here. Galton needs to keep that pressure on those pedals, get onto that slipstream and push right up to the yellow beacon. That's the easy way to ride it, is to make sure you sit round about that yellow beacon. Don't go in front because you're just going to be doing too much work, but don't go too far behind. And when you come onto the hill, push into the back of the group, and that will get you into position really, really quickly indeed. Now our riders already on this steep section of climb, coming underneath the gantry here, and then we're going to be coming in past the pens where we started off. And the back of this group keeps on fracturing here. There's people playing a very dangerous game here. Craig Genth, a very experienced rider on the Donny Chaingang, sat in the back in this group at the moment. Is pushing to push 3.6 to get onto the back of the group. These riders are getting scattered and the gaps are definitely opening up now. So it looks like Galton and Davis, Davis here. Davis has been in for a long time in with that group at the moment. Davis, so I think he's starting to feel the pressure. You see that 2.8 watts per kilo. May it well be that he's going to let that group go. Galton at the moment is just putting a aero power up in there. They're ahead of Waller Haywood, and looks like the gaps are opening up behind that is for sure. Galton working hard here, but I don't think he's going to get that group back now. The pace of the bunch is such that it's going to be really hard. It's strung out on the back of the main bunch, and there are riders in ones and twos. Look at this, Kirkham is in here. Ted in a group of 5 off the back of the main bunch. Looks like Senior is in this as well. Masood's in here. Dubash is in this group. It really is quite a good group here, and yet they are distanced at the moment, and these are the guys next in danger here. So right at the moment has to push on. He's got Priester in front of him. Amber's got to do the same. They're the riders who are going to be in trouble as they're off the back of the group at the moment, and you can just see the back of this group. It's Matt Taylor is going to be in trouble here. Taylor's going to see that chasing group behind coming towards him very, very quickly indeed. Now Tim Howcroft and Ruth Taylor currently on the back of the main gang. Looks like Ian Taylor also up here as well. The 1080 man is here. The sun is out and he's got his sunnies on. So it looks like the sunnies are on for Ian Taylor. Remember, here comes the Sun Week here on the Donny Chaingang, with giveaways for our members of the DCG gang, the people who make it happen for everybody who's out and riding today. They're the guys who keep the show quite literally on the road and the virtual wheels turning, as this select group of leaders now make their way down, and it is getting quicker and quicker as we're getting in towards critical time. The pace picks up, and that is exactly what you see on a real Chaingang in real life. It gets quicker and quicker and quicker, and that is exactly what's happening here. This group is steadily getting faster and faster, whittling out riders one by one, and now this is the leading group at the moment. So these riders riding well on the way through here, and all being patrolled by the bear himself. It is Russ Downing in that new distinctive Downing cycling kit here, sat in the middle of the bunch on this fast descent down. It really does pick up pace quickly round these bends, and then you can just see it picks the pace up, and then we come around the bends towards the splitter here at the moment at 31.8k. Just watching this group on the front. Mike Killingsworth up here, Handley, Sadler, Darby in here, in Bale in this group, Neil from the Crosscast, Pretty Gritty main man in there, and of course CEO Phil. Pretty Gritty is Caroline Mansfield, one of our winners on the giveaway today. Now this group now onto this little bit of a climb as they come up here. 32.2k covered. So Tristan from Harrogate in here, Tristan Emptage, member of the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, riding alongside Russ in that black and white kit. Quickly though, being passed, looks like everybody are wanting to roll around in this group, keeping it nice and steady in here. And a real who's who in the pack at the moment as we move on to the glass bridge here. So heading up on to the ascent here. So looks like the companion app for Russ just going down at the moment. So the companion app is down for Russ at the moment. So that is going to make things very interesting indeed for our riders. So Go has gone. He's called it. It looks like we've not seen it, and Go has called. So this is it. This is the battle on the front. The pressure on, and the riders well and truly strung out. It is one long line to go. So it looks like Russ called it 30k. It's so very, very interesting and good to see that Russ at the moment in this pack. George Cooper is right in here as well. George, of course, one of our regulars on the Donny Chaingang, a man who went out and Everested on the Chaingang, looking good. But up at the front, it looks like those leaders really are starting to stretch this out. We're going to jump on here. It was definitely lively, and Charlie Mason doing the same as me and just going, yeah, not sure quite what happened there, but there you go. So Aaron Richardson at the moment just pushing on in front of Coleman. So they come up along here. They're just on the glass bridge at the moment, and these riders know that they are going to have to push, and it looks to me like Kieran Smith, he's well aware of what this route is like, because he is just pushing on. He's got Whitelaw and Stone in front of him as well. So we're going to jump in with Aaron Stone. He's got Whitelaw for company now. Whitelaw traditionally has been riding in an orange kit. Not today. He's in a Zeb Peugeot kit. Just waiting to try and catch people out, I think. And one of our new members of the DCG gang, Aaron Stone, in the orange here, looking focused. But they've got a big group coming behind them here, chasing hard. And certainly it looks to me at the moment Whitelaw has the bit between his teeth. He really does want to stretch this out. So Whitelaw it is who is continuing to push onwards here. And he really wants to stretch this out. Remember, a Lake District resident is Whitelaw, a new member of the DCG gang. Welcome, mate. Good to have you with us. And certainly been enjoying the ride. But look at this coming behind. It really is a huge group coming. And this is a big pack coming onto these riders. Let's jump in with Kieran Smith at the moment. He's the rider with the flat cap in here. But you can see he's in amongst a real bunch of hitters here as they go up onto the climb. As the elevator, the train goes around underneath the riders. You can just see these guys. They know that there is plenty more pain to come as they make their way up the climb. They've got a big kick up to the finish. Remember, the biggest part of the climb is the final part up, and then it levels just going up over the finish line at the very top of the KOM. But this is the leaders. Currently leading it out, it is a Whitelaw leading. Xander Graham in there, Dan Coleman, Aaron Stone from Richardson, Trek in there. Kieran Smith is in this group. The chase is coming behind. Everybody wants to get onto this group. They don't want to let that gap go. And it looks like there is a second group on the glass road chasing hard between this group and the yellow beacon. They're just out of our sight at the moment. Now look at this. Brett Dowtrey, who was rolling around the back of the group, has got himself in with this group. Our riders are just dropping down this side of the glass road here up above Central Park. It's increased capacity in Central Park, and it also means, of course, we get something a little bit different to play with here in New York. It's certainly made life very interesting for the riders coming up the main KOM as they are at the moment. Remember, we have the big climb to finish, and that is what's going to sort these riders out. Kieran Smith leading this group. Aaron Stone from Richardson's Trek on the back there as well. We drop down where the train goes through. It looks to me like this group really have got that gap nailed to about 13 seconds to the second group on the road. This is group number 2 on the road, and it's currently sitting at about 13 seconds. Big group though now. If this group were to work together, they could catch that group in front. It's more than doable. Some really big names in here. This has also got our fastest female rider at the moment, because I can definitely see Sarah Lomas in here as Craig Herring. I think he's trying to bridge across here, so Herring is going for this. He's seen they're only 10 seconds away. He's going to try and bridge across. He's gone for it solo. There's 9 seconds to the group behind. The pack are chasing hard behind though. Little Thomas, Darrell Tattershaw Waller in there. Looks like a Little working hard. Neil from the Crosscast in that group as well. Tivy's in here, Cooper's in here, and they're pulling him back. Lomas, of course, the fastest of our female riders. But look at this, straight over the top goes Neil from the Crosscast, and my co-host on the Crosscast clearly are feeling good. Craig Herring's done. He's well and truly kippered now, because he's blown it apart at the moment. He's smoked the tyres as they come on to the big part of the climb here. So here we go, on to the final part of the climb. This is the KOM. This group are coming, and they are coming quick. The front group could be caught napping here if they're not careful, because they're about to get caught. That's the second group behind here. The second group is coming, and that gap is down to next to nothing. Look at this. Graham has gone hard on the front. Sorry, it's not. It's Graham trying to close down. It's Aaron from Richardson Trek. Here we go. Let's see here how close this is going to get. It is going to be tough stuff as they go up the climb. Let's see. It's on to the push up here. Massive kick here coming up to the top of the climb. We're going to try and get it up to our leaders here. Very, very difficult to catch everybody in the right place, because what we get is we actually get a drop across to the riders below. This is the big part of the climb. So good move there by Neil and by Craig Herring. You can see the distance. The top is up. It is a couple of turns on this tunnel away. It is brutal here though. It's 11%, and Aaron Stone from Richardson Trek has got 2 seconds on the chasing group. The chasing group is going to be coming. It is Thorpe, Coleman, Xander Graham, Kieran Smith. There they are at 5 seconds. It's hardly any distance, but it takes 5 seconds to cover because it's 17%. Yeah, 17%. This is evil, nasty course. Bad Bear. Absolutely nasty. We don't usually use this sign for a reason. He's chosen it today. Look at what he's doing to them here. He's ripping them to pieces because he's pushed them up a 17% slope now. It's going to level, but the KOM, it's round the turn, and there is a slight kicker still to go to the finish. But at the moment, you can see Stone is just hanging on. Graham behind him, putting out 7.2 watts per kilo. That's because he doesn't weigh anything. He's a tiny rider, is Graham. Now Xander Graham going. He's come up hard on the heels here behind. It looks to me like a Whitelaw knows it's not too far to go. Whitelaw pushing on in the Zeb Peugeot. But now Graham goes round to Aaron Stone. Stone's responding though to this. So it's Xander Graham. It's a straight run for the finish gantry up in front. This is the rise. You can just about make the count, the arch to the glass of the roadway. And here we go. It is Xander Graham trying to answer the response from Stone here. Who's going to have the kick to the finish? They can see the line coming. They can see the line coming. It's just in front. Now has Stone got anything left? Stone has not got anything left. This is going to go to Xander Graham. Graham goes underneath the line. So Xander Graham gets first place. Then it's going to be Aaron Stoner from Richardson trekking 2. Whitelaw in 3. It's going to be Thorpe in 4. It's going to be Coleman in 5. Kieran Smith comes up. He's going to be in 6th place. He's got a little bit of a gap, so it's going to be 6th place for Smith. Then it's going to be Brett Dowtree. Can he hold off the riders behind? I think he has done. Yeah, it is Dowtree. Then it's going to be a Little, followed by Coyle. Then it's going to be our first female finisher. It's 10th place today. Sarah Lomas doing the business once again. This young lady continues to impress. A member of the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, a member of the Donny Chaingang Zwift Power team. Remember, if you've been a member of the DCG gang, you can be a member of the Zwift Power team. We have riders of the calibre of Sarah Lomas in there, putting in a big performance for 10th place. It's 11th for Thomas. It's going to be a 12th place for Cooper. It's Lloyd who comes through just behind him. Then it's going to be Conley, then Daryl Tashel-Waller, Tristan from Harrogate, and then Russ is going to be our next rider coming in towards the line, and I think it's going to be an 18th place for Russ, 19th for Sadler, and I think Neil from the Crosscast after that. Suicidal Bridging Move is going to just make the top 20 today. So Neil gets top 20. It's Jeffries 21st. It's going to be the Johnson Wheelers rider in 22nd. Luke Waterhouse is going to take 23rd. Saysel 24th. It's going to be Jimmy Allen 25th. Chopping 26th. AD Dench going to get past here. So it's going to be 27th for Goddard. Be 28th for AD Dench. It's going to be 29th for Dowtree. And rounding out the top 30 is going to be Derby. Then it is going to be Taylor. Taylor comes through 30th. Then it's going to be second female rider today. It's going to be Jess Evans. Then it is going to be the lunatic that is Craig Herring. Absolute superstar trying to bridge across there. Then Richardson. Currently being followed by Kooslugs and Hind. Shelley Charles coming through with Forey, Osman, Wimble chasing hard here behind him. Then it's going to be Ambler and Bale, chased by Fulton and Handley. And then we're going to see Rich Orrell, another of our regulars on the chain gang, being chased here by Morn, putting in a big kick from the Stellaton here. Measure twice, cut once from the Stellaton rider. Then it's going to be Lovett. Good to see you back on the chain gang. Noel is going to come towards the line, but he's going to get rolled here. And I think it's very close indeed. Garth just taking that from Mason and Noel. Then it's going to be Pillsworth, followed by Sean Runnett. Sean Hull in those forearms and biceps up the climb. Then Tim Howcroft to devise delicate pedal on the way up the slope there. So good to see Tim in action, and as you can see, it's a long way down from up here. Not good if you've got vertigo, that is for sure. Great riding there to see the speed of the riders up here, and that's a very fast time by Sarah Lomas, 3:37 on that climb. Then our next finishers coming through, Paul Coleman. This will be Evans, Mike Killingsworth chasing hard here. And then I think it's going to be the third of our female riders. It is going to be Ruth Taylor here. So Lomas put in a very fast time, a 3:37 for Lomas up the climb there. It was Jess Ride Bikes, so the 4:19. And Taylor is going to take the third of our female riders' positions going through the gantry there. And Taylor comes through with a 4:55. Behind it's going to be Steve Hilbert. Andy Scotland, just about tried to get him, didn't quite get it. Then it's going to be King and Ferron. I think Colin Bell Beefy from Cycleways chasing hard behind, but King putting in a little bit of a kick there just to make sure he stays clear as he comes in underneath the line. Then it's going to be Beefy of Colin Bell from Cycleways and Ferron. Then it's going to be Taylor, but it's Ian Taylor, the 1080 man, looking cool as a cucumber as he comes up over the climb, 150 beats per minute as well. So great to see Ian walking the walk as well as talking the talk, and of course wearing the shades and doing them justice as well as he comes over the top. And don't forget to get in touch with Ian the main man at 1080. One man who knows well, it's going to be Brian Smith. Brian Smithy, of course, coming through. Don't forget, you can catch up with Brian, who is busy on commentary of the tour of Turkey at the moment. And I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but let's just say it's definitely worth watching. And Brian, of course, as insightful as ever on the commentary. Now, TV, and then Phil Jones coming through. Then it's Dr. D on his way to the line next. So Dr. D got 7 seconds on Senior. As they start to make their way up, we're just going to take a little bit of a check back on these riders coming in. Plenty of riders enjoying the rundown of the climb here. At Dubash just completing these final few metres of climb on his way in to the finish here. Ahead of Senior, he's going to hold that position, I think, pretty comfortably. So Dubash comes through, Dr. D finishing and coming through with a time of 5 minutes 45. Senior, the next rider coming in to the line here. So Senior coming in, and it's going to be Senior our next rider in and through. Then it's going to be D on his way. So we are going to keep an eye out. Craig Genther, another member of the DCG gang and regular on the Donny Chaingang, and good to see him in action once again. So Craig at the moment, we'll take a little bit of a look back from Craig. He's got the gap on Kirkham and Galton. He's going to be able to hold that to the line, I'm sure. Experienced rider like Craig not going to get rolled on the way through. So Craig Genther in through the line behind is Kirkham, who can see Craig in front. So it's going to be Kirkham, and then it's going to be Galton, who's in the distance behind. So let's have a look. It is going to be Galton now. Galton's got a decent gap on Andrews, which is 20 seconds, and 25 to Davies. We're going to try and jump in with Russ in the gap. Hopefully he's on the end of the phone line. Hi Russ, how are you doing?
Holy moly!
That was a little bit of a stinker, that climb. You're a mean man.
I didn't deserve, I just did it, mate. I think the last phone call we have, I think you said you wanted to go to New York, KOM after party, so don't pin the blame on me.
Whoa. Well, yeah, I might have said that, but I didn't think you'd ever do it. You don't have...
I was looking through routes, didn't it, over the weekend? I was like, oh, I'll let them have this one.
Oh, thanks, mate. I'll take the blame. It's all right. I don't mind. I get to talk about that was we need to come back, actually, because I thought that was a great finish. It really worked together well to test people's ability to ride in the group, and it just gradually fractured until we hit the climb, and then what a climb. I mean, that 17% section must have had people's legs screaming. I'm sure yours were.
Mine were already screaming because I'd type go, 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 you know, and then I'd drop my phone and think, right, concentrate, and then I'm thinking, no one's seen this, so then I have to pick my phone back up again, type it again, it wasn't working. So then I unclipped, turned the Wi-Fi off, turned it back on. I was like, holy moly.
That's just what you don't need. It's just not what anybody needs at that stage. That is for sure. And seeing loads of riders, I mean, these gaps are not huge between any of these riders, and the fractures were gradual today all the way through. And of course, that long running. Last time we were here, we went up the reverse. We came the other direction. This time, instead of going this way, we went that way, and it was like long run on the glass top, long run on the glass roads. Great for vision, but Craig Herring and Neil Mansfield put in a serious bridging move there.
Yeah, I think I prefer this one. You know, I think we went sort of up and down and round last time, didn't we? And it kind of got a bit confusing. But today we were just, you know, it went really well. So I was happy with that. Apart from the go, 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 and having to stop, chase back, and I was like, oh well, I've done my job.
Well, that's indeed, and great to see some real big moves by the guys trying to get across here, and looking forward, of course, to the next one of our Here Comes the Sun, and that is going to be on Thursday, because of course on Thursday we've got another giveaway, another set of Oakley Sutros and some more Oakley bundles going out courtesy of Ian from 1080, who not only has had the busiest week in the world ever.com, he rode the Chaingang as well.
He was going well as well then. He was right there till the go, 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 I think, and then, you know, I think, you know, that'd be mean. I think some of the guys who are, a bit off the pace, their finish line is the go, go, go. They like to hold on to that, and then they find the group and find a good rhythm. So, it's like somebody who can't climb. They're waiting for the gruppetto, and then it's like, oh, race over, let's get to the finish. And that's great, it's like proper bike racing.
It is, and it's so good to see. I mean, the group, the Red Beacon group. I mean, we just watching Sonia Inslee come up here, and Sonia putting in another good ride. She's not in that Yellow Beacon group to the end. She's doing this as it mixed in with real life riding. It's not a be all and end all. Isn't riding on Zwift, that is for sure. But putting in great rides week in, week out, and we're just seeing that she's just improving all the time. And already kicking in, she knows where that finish line is. One more ramp to come, and putting in a strong ride. And that the group, in fact, of the Yellow Beacon, is still some way behind now.
Yeah, that's going to steady speed, and it's going to crack you. If you've not got no wheels on in front of you, you're not going to get dragged up a rise and that. So press on all the way. But what a ride for that group at the back. That's
Definitely.
Great.
Definitely good to see, and just watching Martin Bolt at the moment chasing Sonia towards the line. Martin, of course, a winner of Oakley of the Oakley Goodies, and long-time supporter of the Chaingang, and in fact was busy doing his civic duty. I noticed he had the chains on of office when he was in action earlier on this week on Facebook.
Yeah, I saw that. It's good. Mixing it all up. But Martin's been a great support from the off. So I think that the first giveaway, first prize he's won, or
I think it might be the second he's won because he's been in from the start. We've to be brutally honest, for us, we've given away that much stuff. I am seriously losing track. We have given away thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds worth of gear to riders, of kit, of value to people, plus of course all the discounts as well. I've got to say a massive thank you to the guys who sponsor it, to Halo Wheels, to OT Velaskin, to 1080 and Oakley, to Grand Tour Coffee, Pretty Gritty, and all of the people who have helped us along the way, doing a fantastic job. Thank you very, very much. It's great to see, and good to see our members benefiting from it. I know Sonia usually a winner of a previous competition, but Martin Bolt, of course, a winner in the competitions this time round.
Yeah, they're just crossing the line now there, and the supporters, who actually keep the show on the road is just great, and it's good to give a little bit back. These guys, it's good. It's kind of funny, with Caroline winning the Oakley's, she puts online that she'd like a blue pair and this, that, and the other, and then she goes and wins them. So, it shows. Facebook was listening. Maybe is it linked to YouTube, Facebook?
It could well be. Unfortunately, the random number generator is isolated. It's not quite air gapped to the real world, but it's pretty close. Is the random number generator, and it is totally random because I tell you what, we couldn't plan the way some of the numbers have fallen in the past. That is for sure. But that's a random number generator, and you've seen it in action today, and we'll be seeing it in action on Thursday. Be interesting to see who takes the shades. Will it be somebody who's going to get the wish come true and pick up a set of Sutros to match the kit? We will see. Russ, you need to get some recovery done, mate. You're no doubt going to be out on the bike tomorrow, making the most of the sunshine on Here Comes the Sun week.
Yeah, I'm just going to roll it up to another 600 metres. So it'll be 45k this evening, 10k warm up, and then what did I do early? 115 early. So big daylight, really. I think told my wife I'm going to make a comeback, and she just snarled at me and said no chance.
Well, she knows better than anybody, so other than maybe Dean. So good stuff, mate. Enjoy the last few hundred metres, and we'll see you on Thursday.
Okay, and have a good one. The rest of the gang, tap it out up to the Big Apple.
So great to hear from Russ there, and our riders are well on the way up here with the climb coming up. Just keeping an eye on Flynn. Flynn, one of our newer members of the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, and good to see him in action. Clearly got hold of the links. Remember, if you're a member of the DCG gang, there's an email will go out at the weekend prior to that week's rides, which will have the links for all of the rides in. It also has the discounts, the details of the giveaways on there that all of our members of the DCG gang get to say thank you for supporting the Donny Chaingang. Thank you for looking after the ride and making sure that our riders can continue to ride the DCG gang. And the Donny Chaingang, the DCG gang, the supporters club really do make the ride happen, and a massive thank you to them. So if you're a member of the DCG gang, email on the weekend with the links in, coming out to you usually late on a Saturday or a Sunday, dependent on when those links come in. And of course then 5 o'clock on a Tuesday and a Thursday, you also get a reminder email on weeks when we have a giveaway that also has the numbers of the random number giveaway. So whether you're rider number 1 or rider number 120 on the giveaway, or 607 on the giveaway, those numbers come out to you, and then we will fire the random number generator up, and just depends on what number comes out as to whether you win or not. And congratulations to our 5 winners, and no doubt Mr. Flynn will be looking forward to seeing if he's in the mix a little bit later on. Now, our red beacon on the Sky Road here with Mark Ticker's Tick Hill in here, and looks like the train on its way around the bend's got a nice drop down to come. Here it's minus 3% at the minute. So the rise starts here, and this is really where it starts to kick up towards the finish. It's quite a long way up though. Remember, you can just see it in the distance. You can see the road going up into the sky. It's all about carrying momentum through. And one of the key tips is to know that when the kick feel comes in, set your turbo trainer if you're riding on Zwift, unless you're racing of course, set it down round about the 25 to 30% mark as a maximum, and that's what will allow you to keep the pedalling consistent without ripping your legs to pieces. And Joe Jarvis, very experienced on Zwift, and just leading the bus on the way up, doing some great red beacon duties here as Joe takes the left in front of Tickers here. So Mark Tickhill completed his weekly goal. Well done, mate. Ride on. Definitely got to give a ride on for that one. So we'll drop that down on to Mark. There he goes, sat above his head, and onto the climb he goes. So this is the run now up towards the finish. Now, it is a pretty brutal climb, this, as you can see from the riders just making the way up away from the bottom of the park. And the very top, well, that is around these twists and turns. You can see the highest point on the roadway in the buildings in front, and that is where the route goes in and through, and goes in right through the Essex houses and drops down out the other side as well. So our riders now on to the climb, going to take the left hand turn and then go round and through the loop. At the moment, Tickers and Joe Jarvis on here. Now, I'm sure I just read in the messages that Joe was afraid of heights and gets vertigo. So whilst she might not be able to do this in real life, let's see if we can put Joe off while she's doing this. It's really mean of me, but you know, I'm not great when I'm stood at the... I might go rock climbing, but I'm not great stood on the edge of a car park, which is really weird, but there you go. So Joe currently up in the sky at the moment, and a long way up here in Central Park, with the park a long way down below. And Joe at the moment leading out Mark Tick Hill behind. And this skyscape, all part of the Zwift experience here in New York, to add extra roads in, to give it extra capacity to the roads of Zwift. Zwift adding this. It's not like this in real life if you've not been to New York, I can assure you. Now, Joe on the climb, and it's Tickers behind, and pushing on towards the wheel here of Joe Jarvis. These two steadily making their way up the climb. So Joe just coming past our camera, and it looks like Mark coming up to the junction here. This is where our riders will go straight on, and then they've got the final section of road up in towards the summit. So the road appearing in front as the neon shows through the glass bridge here. So as our riders go on to that last section of climb, a few bits of housekeeping for you. Don't forget, guys, if you want to be part of the draw for the DCG Gang members, you have to be a member of the DCG Gang, the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club. To do that, you can join. You can click the link on the Facebook page. You can click the link on the announcements on the Facebook page, on the about on the Facebook page, or any of the posts where we've been explaining what people get for joining as a member of the Supporters Club. You can also do so by going on to the DonnyChaingang.com pages, www.donnychaingang.com, and of course make sure you sign up if you want to be in by 9 o'clock on the morning of the draw. That's the standard cut-off time across all of the competitions that we run when we're doing giveaways and bonuses for the members. It's at 9 o'clock in the morning. That's quite simply because we have quite a lot to do to bring you the broadcast as well as make sure everybody's in. So it's a 9 o'clock cut-off on the morning of the draw. So make sure you get your membership in. For your membership, for helping keep the show on the road, we give you all of the links to the events direct to your inbox, generally on the weekend before the rides come. And on the Tuesdays and on the Thursdays, we give you a preview of where we're going, what the hills are like, what the climbs are like, what the profile is. There's links to Fellow Viewer, there's links to Zwift Insider, who give you all of the details of what the routes are like. We have, of course, in there results from the draws. We have in there our giveaways, so details whether that is a giveaway from 1080 or Halo, who have been in this week, whether it's Pretty Gritty, OTE, whether it is going to be Grand Tour Coffee. All of the people who support, all the discount codes, whether that is 20% off OTE, whether that is £5 off the case of 6 beers, the bottle opener, the musette, and the glass that comes from the Cold Bath Brewing Company. Whether it is the discounts on Pretty Gritty clothing, back at 20% again on the sustainably and ecologically sound clothing, as well as very stylish clothing from Pretty Gritty. Whether that is Velaskin, who of course have got free samples, including postage and packaging for all the members of the DCG Gang, plus a discount as well. And in fact, every time that you buy from Velaskin, they're looking after us as well, trying to make sure that the Chain Gang keeps on bringing you the action and keeps on bringing you the rides. So by being a member, you get all these bonuses and you're helping the rides continue onwards and us to bring you the rides as well. Don't forget, of course, you need to subscribe to the Downey Cycling YouTube channel to make sure you get all of the links to be notified when we go live. We're also, of course, covering the British Women's Team Cup Series, so it's full speed events. You can see the logo just up in the top corner of the screen there. Full speed events, myself and Emma covering a lot of the events as part of Zwift, and it's what we did during lockdown to try and give everybody something to look forward to. Russ and myself coming together to bring you all of the rides, and it's been a great year. We're now into year number 2. I can say that now. We're now in year 2, and been a great start. So Here Comes the Sun week with Ian Taylor and the guys from 1080. And don't forget, of course, if you're in the Norwich area, make sure you get yourself in there. If you're not in the Norwich area, don't worry. They have some great delivery and can get it to you really, really fast. They're some of the fastest out there. They have the best stocks. They're an icon dealer for a reason. They know their stuff, so make sure that you get on there. Support the people that support your sport. The people you see down at the bottom of the screen, they're the guys that are helping us to bring the ride to you, for us to put the ride on week in, week out. We've been here 52 weeks of the year, 104 rides and counting, and that's just on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We've got specials as well with things like the Women's Wednesdays that Ian Taylor supported as well with 1080. And don't forget, of course, there will be some specials coming on the Women's Only Wednesday specials, as well as some more blocks when we go in towards winter. But everybody, welcome on here. Saw some great rides tonight. National Hill Climb champion, former National Hill Climb champion Jess Evans being beaten to the top of the climb by Sarah Lomas, member of the DCG Club, the DCG Gang Zwift Power team on Zwift Power. And don't forget, of course, if you've been a member of the DCG Gang, the Supporters Club, at any point during 2021, you don't have to be a current member, just have been a member at some point during the year, you can join that as well. We check all the entries in there against the database, and that's one of the reasons for introducing that. So let's go back to the ride as our red beacon makes their way up and take us up to the top of the climb here in New York on the Donny Chaingang live on the Downey Cycling YouTube channel. So here we go, our riders are together as they come up towards the top of the climb, and things are pretty close between these two. They've been riding together for a while now. They were together as we first saw them as they came out from the start, and certainly looks to me like they're going to be pretty close as they come to the top of this climb. The gantry's not all that far away. They're going to be able to see it in front of them. Here it comes. Now it's Jarvis, the red beacon, who is leading Tickle up here. Tickle's, of course, one of our newer members of the gang. Now Jarvis is giving some encouragement here for Mark to sprint. He's not got far to go. This is it. This is the big kick in. Tickers is going to be leading them in to the finish here. Jarvis sat on the wheel at the moment, and this is the run to the top. It's downhill from here, and it's going to be Tickle who comes through. So Tickers comes in to the finish, finishes the ride. Joe Jarvis, our bus driver, our red beacon for the day, doing the business once again. Thank you very much, Joe. And part of the role, of course, lots of encouragement, and Joe definitely very good at that. Great to have Joe on the chain gang. So as our riders go to warm down there on the descent, we'll follow Joe down on to the slopes as she starts to pick up speed now. So make sure you're subscribed to the Donny Cycling YouTube channel. Make sure you keep it safe, keep it rubber side down. If you're out on the bike, hopefully you might see you out there at some point over the next couple of days. Remember, we're back on Thursday. We've got another great route. So make sure you sign up to the gang to get all the details of the route. Make sure you join the ride, and looking forward to seeing you, to bring you all of the action here on the Donny Cycling YouTube channel with me, Matt Payne. Enjoy the sunshine. Thank you very much, Ian, for fixing the sun as well as supplying the prices for 1080 Oakley week. From me, Matt Payne, we'll see you on Thursday.